Do you ever find yourself walking into a room and forgetting why you went there? Or perhaps struggling to recall a name that's right on the tip of your tongue? These little slips can feel frustrating, even a bit scary. As we get older, we often just shrug them off, blaming senior moments or simply aging. But what if I told you that some of the foods you genuinely enjoy, the very things that bring comfort and taste to your day, might actually be quietly working against your brain health? Especially after 60. It's a painful reality to consider that something so delicious could be a hidden adversary. We all want to keep our minds sharp, our memories vivid, and our ability to think clearly well into our golden years. The secret to a resilient brain isn't about expensive supplements or complex diets. It often lies in simply understanding what to avoid. In this video, we're going to uncover 6 common, often delicious foods that, when consumed regularly, can subtly erode your cognitive function, memory, and even your mood. These aren't just about weight gain. They're about your brain's long-term health. Knowing this information can truly empower you to make choices that support your mental vitality for decades to come. Watch to the end for something that will truly surprise you. Something many of us believe is harmless, but can be quite the opposite. Let's dive right into the first category, one that might not shock you entirely, but whose impact on your brain is far more profound than you might realize: sugary drinks and refined sugars. Think about your morning coffee with too much sugar, that afternoon fizzy drink, or the sweet treat you reach for after dinner. These items, filled with high fructose corn syrup, sucrose, and other forms of added sugar, cause a rapid spike in your blood sugar. While a quick energy boost might feel good in the moment, your brain pays a heavy price over time. Imagine your brain like a finely tuned engine, needing a steady, consistent supply of fuel to run smoothly. When you dump a load of refined sugar into your system, it's like flooding that engine with too much gas too quickly. Your body tries to cope by releasing a rush of insulin, which can lead to a quick crash, leaving you feeling sluggish, irritable, and mentally foggy. Over years, these constant sugar surges and crashes can lead to something called insulin resistance, not just in your body, but in your brain too. This means your brain cells struggle to take up glucose, their primary fuel, and can actually start to starve. Research has linked high sugar intake to an increased risk of memory impairment, reduced cognitive flexibility, and even a higher risk of developing conditions like Alzheimer's disease. It's not just about forgetting names. It's about the very structure and function of your brain being compromised. Think about how often you grab a sugary soda with lunch or add extra sugar to your tea. Each of these small choices, when accumulated, puts a strain on your brain's delicate balance. And it's not just obvious sweets. Watch out for hidden sugars in seemingly innocent foods like salad dressings, yogurts, breakfast cereals, and even many types of bread. Food manufacturers often sneak sugar in to enhance flavor and texture, making it harder for us to avoid. So, what can you do? It's not about deprivation, but rather smart substitutions. Instead of a sugary soft drink, try sparkling water with a slice of lemon or a splash of natural fruit juice. For your coffee or tea, gradually reduce the amount of sugar you add, or switch to natural sweeteners like a tiny bit of stevia or monk fruit extract if you really need sweetness. But moderation is still key. When those sweet cravings hit, reach for whole fruits like berries, apples, or oranges. They offer natural sugars along with fiber, which helps to slow down sugar absorption and provides essential nutrients for your brain. Small, consistent changes here can make a massive difference in protecting your precious gray matter. Now, moving on from the sweet stuff, let's talk about another broad category that silently undermines your brain health: highly processed foods and fast food. We're talking about those convenient microwave meals, packaged snacks, instant noodles, and the occasional drive-through burger and fries. While they're incredibly easy and often taste good in the moment, their ingredients are a minefield for your brain. These foods are typically loaded with unhealthy fats, excessive sodium, artificial additives, preservatives, and again, often hidden sugars. One of the biggest culprits in processed foods is the type of fat they contain. Many are rich in trans fats and unhealthy omega-6 fatty acids, which contribute to chronic inflammation throughout your body, including your brain. Imagine your brain as a bustling city, and inflammation is like constant construction work disrupting traffic, making it hard for signals to get through. Chronic inflammation can damage brain cells, impair communication between neurons, and contribute to cognitive decline, memory problems, and even mood disorders like depression and anxiety. These fats also affect the blood-brain barrier, which is your brain's protective shield, making it more permeable to harmful substances. Think about the ease of grabbing a bag of chips or a frozen pizza after a long day. It's understandable, but consider what's actually in them. Beyond the unhealthy fats, they often contain artificial colors, flavorings, and preservatives that our brains simply aren't designed to process. Some studies suggest these additives can have neurotoxic effects, leading to hyperactivity, learning difficulties, and other behavioral issues, even in older adults. Furthermore, processed foods often lack the vital nutrients, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that your brain desperately needs to function optimally. They fill you up without nourishing your mind. So, what's the actionable step here? Start small. Instead of buying a highly processed snack, try to prepare something simple at home. Swap packaged crackers for whole grain options or rice cakes with avocado. Instead of a frozen dinner, try cooking a simple meal with fresh vegetables and lean protein. Batch cooking once or twice a week can make a huge difference in having healthy alternatives readily available. For example, roast a big tray of vegetables and some chicken or fish, then portion it out for quick meals during the week. When you're cooking from scratch, you have control over the ingredients, ensuring your brain gets the nutrients it needs without the harmful additives. It's about choosing nourishing over convenient, most of the time. Building on our discussion of processed foods, let's turn our attention to something many of us enjoy on a regular basis, especially at breakfast or in sandwiches: processed meats. I'm talking about bacon, sausages, hot dogs, deli meats like ham and turkey slices, and even some jerky. While they can be delicious and convenient, they pose a significant threat to your brain health, particularly as you age. The main concerns with processed meats are their high levels of sodium, nitrates, nitrites, and advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. Let's break that down. First, the high sodium content isn't just bad for your heart, it's also detrimental to your brain. Excessive salt intake can lead to high blood pressure, which in turn can damage the delicate blood vessels in your brain, restricting blood flow and oxygen. This reduced flow means your brain cells aren't getting the fuel they need, leading to cognitive decline over time. Then there are nitrates and nitrites, used as preservatives and for color in many processed meats. When these compounds enter your body, they can convert into N-nitroso compounds, which are known to be carcinogenic and can also contribute to oxidative stress and inflammation in the brain. Oxidative stress is like rust forming on your brain cells, damaging them and accelerating the aging process. Imagine your brain as a complex electrical circuit board. Oxidative stress is like tiny sparks and short circuits constantly firing, disrupting the flow of information and making it harder for your brain to perform its functions efficiently. This can lead to memory issues, slower processing speed, and even contribute to neurodegenerative diseases. Furthermore, many processed meats are cooked at high temperatures, especially bacon and sausages, which creates those advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These harmful compounds form when proteins or fats react with sugars in a process called glycation, often intensified by high-heat cooking methods like frying, grilling, or roasting. AGEs accumulate in your body over time and are a major contributor to inflammation and oxidative stress, directly impacting brain health. They can damage neurons and blood vessels in the brain, contributing to cognitive decline and increasing the risk of Alzheimer's and other age-related brain disorders. So, what are the practical steps you can take? It's not about never enjoying a piece of bacon again, but about moderation and smart choices. Try to significantly reduce your consumption of processed meats. Instead of a daily bacon sandwich, consider lean protein alternatives like eggs, avocado, or smoked salmon on whole grain toast for breakfast. For sandwiches, opt for freshly roasted chicken or turkey breast that you've cooked yourself, or even plant-based protein options like hummus or mashed avocado. When you do choose processed meats, look for nitrate-free or uncured varieties, although even these should be consumed in moderation due to sodium and other compounds. Focus on fresh, whole, unprocessed sources of protein for the majority of your meals. Your brain will thank you for the reduced burden of inflammatory compounds and improved blood flow. Now, let's talk about a category that often goes hand in hand with processed foods and is particularly insidious for brain health: fried foods. Think about those crispy French fries, fried chicken, donuts, or anything that's been deep fried to golden perfection. While undeniably delicious, these foods are a major contributor to brain damage after 60. The issue with fried foods lies primarily in the type of oils used and the high temperatures they are subjected to. Many restaurants and fast food establishments use unhealthy vegetable oils like corn oil, soybean oil, and sunflower oil, which are high in omega-6 fatty acids and can become rancid and oxidized when heated repeatedly. These oxidized oils generate toxic compounds, including trans fats, that promote widespread inflammation throughout your body, including your brain. This inflammation can damage the delicate neurons and impair the blood-brain barrier, making your brain more vulnerable to harmful substances. Beyond the oils, the process of deep frying itself creates a host of harmful compounds, including those notorious advanced glycation end products, AGEs we just discussed, and acrylamides. Acrylamide is a chemical that can form in starchy foods, like potatoes, when they are cooked at high temperatures, such as frying, roasting, or baking. Studies have shown that a high intake of acrylamide can have neurotoxic effects, damaging nerves and potentially contributing to cognitive impairment. Imagine your brain cells trying to communicate effectively, but these toxic compounds are like static on a radio signal, making it harder for messages to get through clearly. Over time, this constant interference can lead to reduced memory, slower thinking, and a greater risk of neurodegenerative diseases. Consider how easy it is to grab a bag of chips or order a side of fries. It's part of our culture. But each time we indulge, we're exposing our brains to a cocktail of inflammatory compounds and toxins. It's not just about the calories, it's about the molecular damage these foods inflict. The good news is that reducing fried foods can significantly reduce this burden on your brain. So, what are your actionable steps? First and foremost, limit your consumption of deep-fried foods from fast food restaurants and even at home. Instead of frying, try baking, roasting, or air frying. An air fryer can give you that crispy texture without submerging your food in unhealthy oils. When you do cook at home, choose healthier cooking oils like olive oil or avocado oil, and avoid repeatedly reheating oils. Opt for homemade oven-baked sweet potato fries instead of deep-fried regular potatoes. If you're craving chicken, try baking or grilling it instead of frying. These simple changes allow you to enjoy similar flavors and textures while protecting your brain from the silent damage caused by excessive frying. It's about choosing cooking methods that preserve the nutritional integrity of your food and prevent the formation of harmful compounds. We've talked about processed meats and fried foods. And now let's move to something often marketed as a healthier alternative. Yet it still poses a quiet risk to your brain: artificial sweeteners. Many people switch to diet sodas, sugar-free candies, and light yogurts, believing they are making a better choice for their health, especially to manage weight or blood sugar. However, these artificial sweeteners, like aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin, aren't as harmless as they seem when it comes to your brain after 60. While they don't contain calories or sugar, their impact on your brain and gut microbiome is increasingly a cause for concern. Your gut, often called your second brain, plays a huge role in your overall brain health through what's known as the gut-brain axis. Artificial sweeteners can disrupt the balance of beneficial bacteria in your gut, leading to dysbiosis. This imbalance can trigger inflammation and affect the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin, which impacts mood and cognitive function. Imagine your gut flora as a busy, helpful garden. Artificial sweeteners can be like a harsh herbicide, killing off the good plants and allowing weeds to take over, which then sends distress signals up to your brain, beyond the gut. Some research suggests that regular consumption of artificial sweeteners may actually confuse your brain's reward system and alter how it perceives sweetness, leading to increased cravings for sweet foods overall. This can inadvertently lead you back to consuming more actual sugar, creating a vicious cycle. There's also some emerging evidence linking long-term consumption of certain artificial sweeteners to an increased risk of stroke and dementia. Although more research is still needed in this area, it's not a definitive link yet, but it's enough to give us pause, especially when we're talking about protecting a mature brain. Think about how many diet products populate our grocery store shelves. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking they are the healthier choice, but if you're trying to protect your brain, it might be time to rethink that strategy. What are the actionable steps? The best approach is to gradually reduce your reliance on all sweeteners, both natural and artificial. If you're accustomed to very sweet drinks, slowly cut back on the amount of sweetener you add. For beverages, choose plain water, unsweetened tea, or naturally flavored sparkling water. If you enjoy yogurt, opt for plain, unsweetened varieties and add fresh fruit for natural sweetness. When baking, try reducing the sugar content in recipes or using natural alternatives like unsweetened applesauce, mashed bananas, or dates. But again, in moderation. The goal is to retrain your palate to appreciate less intense sweetness, allowing your brain to function without the confusing signals from artificial compounds. Finally, we come to a substance that is deeply ingrained in social culture for many, but whose excessive consumption can be particularly damaging to the aging brain: alcohol. While a glass of red wine here and there might have been touted for heart health in the past, when it comes to brain health, especially after 60, moderation is absolutely critical, and for some, complete avoidance might be best. Chronic. Excessive alcohol consumption is a well-established neurotoxin. It directly damages brain cells and can lead to a reduction in brain volume, particularly in areas critical for memory, learning, and decision-making. Think of your brain cells as delicate structures. Alcohol acts like a solvent, slowly eroding their integrity and communication pathways. This can manifest as problems with balance and coordination, impaired judgment, memory loss, and even an increased risk of dementia. As we age, our bodies metabolize alcohol differently. We become more sensitive to its effects, meaning even moderate amounts can have a more pronounced impact than they did in our younger years. Our liver function might not be as robust, and our brain is already undergoing natural age-related changes, making it more vulnerable to alcohol's toxic effects. Beyond direct neurotoxicity, alcohol can also contribute to brain damage indirectly. It can disrupt sleep patterns, which are vital for memory consolidation and brain detoxification. It can interfere with nutrient absorption, leading to deficiencies in essential B vitamins like thiamine, which are crucial for brain function. A severe thiamine deficiency can lead to Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome, a serious neurological disorder characterized by severe memory problems and confusion. Alcohol also increases inflammation in the body, adding to the inflammatory burden that impacts brain health. Consider how easy it is for a relaxing evening drink to become a regular habit, perhaps even more than one. It's often a social lubricant or a way to unwind. But for your brain, especially as you navigate your later years, it's a significant burden. What are the actionable steps? The recommendation for women over 65 is no more than 1 standard drink per day, and for men, no more than 2. However, for optimal brain health, particularly if you're experiencing any cognitive concerns. Aiming for even less, or abstaining entirely, could be highly beneficial. If you typically have a nightly drink, try having alcohol-free days during the week. Explore non-alcoholic alternatives like flavorful mocktails, kombucha, or herbal teas. If you struggle with reducing consumption, talk to a trusted friend, family member, or healthcare professional. It's about being kind to your brain and giving it the best possible environment to thrive. Remember, every choice you make regarding what you put into your body has a ripple effect, reaching every cell, including those precious ones in your brain. So, we've explored 6 delicious foods that, while pleasurable, can quietly damage your brain after 60 sugary drinks and refined sugars, highly processed foods and fast food, processed meats, fried foods, artificial sweeteners, and excessive alcohol. It might feel like a lot to take in, and perhaps even a bit overwhelming. But remember, this isn't about perfection or completely eliminating everything you enjoy. It's about awareness and making conscious, incremental changes that add up to big benefits over time. Think of your brain as the command center of your life, enabling you to learn, remember, connect, and enjoy every moment. Protecting it is one of the most powerful acts of self-care you can do as you age. Even small shifts, like swapping out 1 sugary drink a day for water, choosing baked over fried, or opting for fresh meat instead of processed, can significantly reduce the silent strain on your brain. You have the power to influence your brain's health with every bite and every sip. Remember, small changes can make a big difference to your health and happiness. We're all in this together, learning and growing. I'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed any differences in your mental clarity or memory by changing your diet? What's one small step you're committing to take to nourish your brain after watching this? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could truly help someone else on their journey. If you found this information helpful and empowering, please give this video a thumbs up. Liking the video helps more people discover this important content. And if you want to keep receiving practical, actionable advice to live your best life at every age, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Thank you for spending this time with me. Live your best life at every age.